here first. Coin is going to zero.
Great evening, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Trading We Don't See. Hopefully you guys are doing fantastic. I'm just laughing, guys. Oh boy, if you haven't heard about the Chart Prime support team, those guys are freaking awesome. We always have a great time, like working with you guys. It's fantastic, man. I'm never working. All right, but by the way, shout out to you guys and the Chart Prime support team. You guys are fantastic, and you know who else is fantastic? Of course, you guys. Welcome from Florida, he says. Kevin, welcome, my friend. Great to have you here. We also have the real DGT. Yeah, see time. Let's get it. Thank you, my friend. Really appreciate you guys. Welcome to the show. Welcome. All right, so let me pause the Discord because oh boy, if you read the things that happen on the support private channel, oh my lord, it's just hilarious. Let me mute that for at least an hour. All right, so nothing that much exciting has happened, but that is a dangerous thing. All right, so I already have paused the Discord, but let's talk charts right now. Let's go to the charts really quickly. And we also have, hey, to Dop in the house. Welcome. We also have Show. What's up, Show? Welcome. Great to have you guys. Let's go to the chart and let's start chatting about it. All right, so let's go take a look at it. All right, so let's just, all right, so let me fix that really quickly. There we go. All right, so something important, and I was just looking at this thing to see if I'm gonna be jumping in for a continuation, which I might. It's the only freaking thing that is moving. Pippin, come on, really? For real? Today we're gonna be doing some meme coin hunting, but guys, please take this with a pair of tweezers, because things might be just about to move. All right, so before we go meme coin hunting, let's take a look at Bitcoin and Light. All right, are we back online? Hopefully we are. Let's see. All right, so dude, I don't know what's going on. This is just breaking. It says warning stream current bit rates 2000 something. I don't know, man. It's just killing me. All right. Yesterday I upgraded my antivirus and I went nuts on it. So I'll try to deactivate it. Already have like a paused couple of features of it. So maybe that might be the issue. We'll see. If this time fails, I'm gonna be trying some hard thing like I don't know, the internet's being weird. Remember today in the morning market report we had a couple of issues jumping in. Not sure what happened there. Might be just the internet. 1 second, please. All right, perfect. We need to stay hydrated. All right, perfect. So let's not push this too far. Let's talk about what is it happening here. So let's get the bigger picture here. We have a huge AF, right, trend line here. Let me just get rid of a couple of things that we're not going to be using at the moment. There it is. And let's go for that fantastic trend line, right? So far so good. All right, we're gonna be using this trend line throughout most of the bear market, so let's get used to it. And also we should be getting a new one sooner. All right, so very quickly, I believe that we are right now on a very short range and that we're gonna keep going downwards. That doesn't mean that we don't have that little spike upwards. So what is it? Spike upwards. Let me hide everything here. There it is. And you know what? Better yet, let's just remove everything that I had before. Much better. Right, so where is the spike upwards? We might get something like that, right? So that's what I'm actually looking for, this kind of movement at that zone, all right? So very important. I don't know exactly what's going to happen. Remember that yesterday I was telling you, and let's zoom in, that if you put a pew to my head, I was betting on Bitcoin to go low. What we got, all right, it went low. It actually hit one of our alerts. I totally missed on that entry. We haven't been doing anything, all right? And now, since we are at the bottom of this itty bitty tiny range, well, we need to start looking for flip of the ribbon and continuation. So we don't short bottom of the ranges, all right? So what if it breaks out? All right, so we're going to be looking for a continuation, but this is the next support. Let's actually build up or put up in there a alert, all right? So I'm going to be buying once again in here as we keep going lower. Other than that, doing great. It's time to wait. Remember, we are looking for the range to break. And if you haven't jumped in for long, wait for the flip of the ribbon, all right? Remember, this is just the entry for a short if we get that, all right? But most likely, we're going to get another cycle to the upside, all right? And why is that? Look at that. We already are curling back up, so we might start doing something like that. Again, the volatility is very small or very light volatility, so that means most likely means that we are not going to be breaking through this time unless we have an increase of volatility. But so far, so good. Let's keep trading the range, all right? So that is basically it. Let's go over Litecoin. Litecoin has been playing out very nicely. We're looking for that possible flip of the ribbon. We already have a couple of lower colors in here, less bright colors, more opaque colors in here. And we're going to be looking for that movement to the upside. Remember that we are bearish, not only on Litecoin, also we are bearish on Bitcoin, all right? What does that mean? What does that mean in English? Well, that means that despite we're looking for that itty bitty tiny long, and for the best case scenario, hitting this area where dynamic director is gonna be at, all right, the most likely scenario is to go low. So we should also be preparing to take this short. Right now, being at the bottom, we don't short bottoms, so we need to have a breakout of that, all right? Retest or pullback, one candle pullback might also work, and then a continuation lower if we break below and we start closing below. We have Olga Ivanova in the house. Welcome, Olga. We also have Sombrai. Welcome, Sombrai. Welcome, my friend. Great for you guys to be around. You should is back up. Perfect. All right. So I think my antivirus might be the thing kind of like blocking fingerprints and stuff like that. So yeah, I went a little nuts on it recently. So Retro Mike Take, what's up, buddy? Welcome. Sounds fine for me. Thank you for refreshing the screen. All right. So maybe I'm too low. I see myself peeking here. I don't know. Let me know. Am I frozen? Maybe reboot the screen. All right, so really quickly, guys, before we continue, remember to click that like button. It really helps with the algorithm. And let's do some meme coin hunting. Let's go. Happy hunting. So let's get started first for what we got on Crypto Bubbles. So let's go for that, cryptobubbles.net. Let's check that out. Reaver, by the way, we've been talking about Reaver. Remember that we've been talking, oh, come on, FTT. This is, dude, man, I really, what is up next? What was it? What? UST or something like that? I don't know. Luna or something like that? I don't know, man. But I do see Ape in here. Can I trade Ape? Mexi? Oh, maybe. So I really don't want to push money on Mexi. I still have just a couple of hundred, but don't really like it. I have like 200, so not much. All right, let's go. Let's go. Let's take a look at Reaver. We've been tracking Reaver. In fact, we hit an alert on Reaver recently, so we have that channel hit up. All right, we haven't been able to break through, but by the way, we have a goose hit. Usually it means the retracement, further move to the upside, and then bigger retracement. All right. So when are we jumping in? Basically, right now, but there's a caveat. There's a caveat. We ain't got anything telling us that this is going to be going back up, right? I mean, we just have 1, 2 candles. Even in the 30 minutes, the thing is just not readable. Nonetheless, let's try our best to do this, all right? So let's go for a trend line in here. Let's add it. By the way, I believe that we're going to be breaking up. All right, let's create that, and let's go for this other one in here, all right? So I mean, shorting once we break out, it's not going to work. We're going to be just way too low for the target. Nonetheless, let's go ahead and add it just for reference. All right. And what we can absolutely do on the 30 minutes is going to be the breakout retest or a break of structure entry. Do I need to remind you guys what could be a break of structure? Let's go for it, because I believe that this could be reaching out some new people. So let's do a quick overview, all right? Usually we wait for a high to be broken, you enter, and then you ride it to your next resistance, right? What would have been the next resistance? This would have been the next resistance. Where do we long? We long on the candle close up. So basically, congratulations, you bought that top, man. So you need to be extremely careful when you are making a break of structured trading. First, you need to have the correct oscillator size, right? Or, I mean, area, basically above the 0 line. All right, so in this case, we were above the 0 line. Great. In this case, were we above the 0 line? Yes, we were, but we actually created at the reversal, not holding a bearish divergence. So was that kind of like a kick in the nuts? Yes, it actually was. So you need to be extremely careful with that. The most important part to mitigate that, it's going to be longing with, of course, a stop loss right below your previous resistance, something like that, shielding it. So if it goes down, it goes the other way around, you just wait. By the way, important, and I would have never done this break of structured trade. Why? Because we are at the dynamic reactor resistance. So step number 2, do not long resistances or very close to resistances. All right, so let's go ahead and do the same thing here. I want to see if we have any predictive ranges resistances, any order block resistances, or any classic resistances. All right, so let's go and let me throw everything I got to it. So let's just wait for a second. All right, and we have a small order block, which is highly bullish. We already have touched it twice, so I don't think that this is going to be a major resistance so far. All right, so let's get rid of it. What I do see is that huge, loud, positive order block, so I would love for this to go down into the center mother's milk range, and then hitting the equilibrium zone, the bottom of the range, the golden line, and basically the huge loud order block. So that looks like a juicy entry. Let's go for it. Let's add an alert, and well, let's have a plan B. What if it goes up right away? Well, then we're going to be looking for a rejection out of this range, this golden line range, coming back down. So that's why I'm going to be adding an alert. All right, so it alerts me on the way down. I'm not going to be shorting it, but I'm definitely going to be looking for the long in here. All right, so we have basically everything. I know it's a little spaghetti-ish, a lot of spaghetti. All right, but I think it's well worth it. So far, so good. Let's go and take a look at something else. Let me see if that is an important trend line. And kind of. Let's just get rid of it. Why not? Perfect. So we got it. It's something important is that, or something like interesting is that we could hit the top all the way here. Remember that we were talking about that previous zone all the way at 24. Remember, we were looking for that area. So guys, at this moment we have a pump. We are pretty bullish. We are above dynamic reactor on the 30 minutes, and we're just looking for the flip of the reward for an entry. You know what? Let's go for a double entry here. So we're going to be going right now. You will have to excuse me a second. And we're going to be doing half of an entry versus half of an entry. Guys, danger, danger. Will Robinson, danger trader, right? So be careful. Entry number 1, entry number 2, half of a position, half of a position. All right. And then our stop loss needs to be below the dynamic reactor. And we're going to be looking for this trade. So almost 1 to 3. All right. So 2.5. So give me 1 second. Let me just move this out of the way. And I'm going to be trading this time on bluffing. So let me see. I will have to log in here. Ooh, no, yeah, perfect. I think I can do it. And 1 second. All right. Let me see if I have the asset there. USDT. Perfect, I do. Let's get it. All right, so entry just a little bit lower here. Let's try to catch a little bit of a better positioning there. Man, we're good. No, we can't. All right, we can't. This is the thing. All right, I was getting drawn by the possibility of the breakout, but we have a freaking trend line coming down. All right, so despite there's nothing here, there you go. It's breaking the trend line. We need to wait for the next breakout retest. So we are not jumping in. All right, so it's very important to cross-reference. Once again, I was about to enter. We need to hold it because, well, we have a resistance. All right, so let's better wait for our best case scenario entry, and then we jump in. Remember, we're not here risking money. We're here to make money. All right, so let's go take a look at Bunk. And also, I want to bring up another one from Coin Market Cap. Let me see if this, yeah, this is the one. So we are on extreme fear, which usually means that we should be looking for a possible long position, because when everybody is fearing it, well, that's when usually we see relief rallies. All right, relief rallies. So let's go over altcoin season index. We're not, so we're not an altcoin season, of course, but look at that, man. Bitcoin season, LFG. All right, so let's freaking go. All right, very important, trying to break out right now. There it is, we're breaking out, but we need to stay true to our strategy. All right, so right now we could have been on profits, but also let me actually go and be a little bit more strict with my trend line like that. I think that will be much better. Oh, there it is. Let's lock it. And well, it is what it is. We're going to be looking for an entry as we bounce back down. All right, let's go. Talking about other coins, here it is. Pippin, Reaver, Kitty, MYC. So any meme coins? Not that I can see right here. What do we have? Weave. All right, so let's get it with Sun and Weave. So can we trade Sun? Let's see. Let me see if I found it here. I'm going to be trading on bluffing. So we'll see. Sun. Perfect. I do have Sun. So let's see if we can trade some Sun. Let's go over here. Ooh, touching it again. There we go. Guys, this farm is killing me. Sun. USDT. Of course, it needs to be a crypto. All right. So we got it on Binance. All right. We have created a little bit of an order block. Very important, guys. Let's revisit something important, all right? Because this, man, we need to understand this. I need to see a bearish scenario. All right, bearish scenario. Perfect. Coming down, it tricks you into think that we're gonna have a reversal and then it F you over, right? Keeps going down, makes a range, make a range forever, and then pumps. Lower high, drops, range, and that is what I want to show you. Drops, range, drops, range, drops, range, drops, range, drops, range, drops, range, and then it takes forever. All right, the taking forever is what we were looking for. All right, so first let me clear this up and let's see where we at this moment. drops, range, drops, range, drops, range, forever, taking forever, and then pumping up. All right, so come on. What is the end? I thought we're all right. Taking forever. All right, but this is important because also after taking forever, this could be a major drop. Okay, because drops, range, all right. Nonetheless, in this particular case, all right, and I mean, I need to be extremely clear, all right, this is dangerous AF. In this particular case, we're going to be measuring the distance between those ranges, all right, those taking forever ranges, and I'm seeing that they usually take about the same timing for it to start bouncing back up. So look at what's that, almost the same timing. We are about to break. All right, look at that, about to break the range, and guess what we got here? We have a pump. Do we have the volatility? Not really, but this thing with its volatility is being freakishly, I mean, I don't know, man. Another important thing is that we have the sell out. All right, and we range. That's a strength signal, strength quote unquote, strength quote unquote. So what I'm gonna go for, it's gonna be and I'm gonna be doing a, why not longing this at 30x, confirm, and we're just gonna do a quarter of a position. Be extremely careful here. All right, if you don't have gambling money, don't go for it. All right, if you have just your serious money to play this out, don't take this entry. All right, capiche? Capiche? All right, so let's go take a look at a couple of other small time frames in here. I want to go over the 5 minutes, and we are losing it. So this is a trend line. Seems like we're losing. We're going lower. So what I want to see on the 5 minutes, it's reaching the bottom, going back farther up, and of course seeing like the support and resistance. Exactly where am I gonna be jumping back in? All right, so far it seems like we are gonna keep dropping a little bit. So let's see what else I got. Let me go and throw everything I got to it. So let's remove this. Let's bring this up. All right, alrighty. So we have a lot of shit going on right down here. This is going to be a perfect area for an entry where things are getting all bunched up. And I'm going to keep this one open. I mean, turn on. This one, not really. It's just the range, well, quote unquote, just the range. What's this one? Order blocks. All right, we can see the order block and that thing in here, the triangle. And all right, so this is a soft order block. All right, we have another yellow order block. That's the one I'm looking for. All right, and then we have another big one in here. So we're gonna be looking in between this range. If for some reason we long this, we're gonna be taking profits here, half of it, and then putting our stop to entry and leaving a moon back. This is going to be right now what we're gonna be doing for meme coin hunting, moon backs. All right, by the way, you want to do, like, I don't know, what's the minimum that you can buy here? What is the minimum? Max. Yeah, of course I don't want to do max. I cannot find the minimum, but I don't know, $10 at 30x. Yeah, why not, right? $5 at 30x or whatever. Right, remember, gambling money only. Money for fun. Money, do not take. Remember, at 14th of February, right? It's coming. So don't mess with that. All right, I'm watching you. You better take your party to a nice place. All right, do not put it in crypto. Not this kind of crypto. All right, so all right, let's get it. I'm just waiting for some resolution here in this candle. Seems like it's going back up, and it's it holding the trend line. It is. I'm looking for the flip of the ribbon. We still have the pump. Consolidation score 7, so we're getting closer to our prime score. Cap ranging. So I really want to go for a lower entry somewhere around here. Why not? Let's go over. Let's see if we can hit it off at 0.16 for an entry. I'm not jumping in here. I know it's the base, is the support, but remember, this is going to be meme coin entry. Let's take a look at the 4 hour. Let me clear up my spaghetti. And that means I'm just, there you go. Look at that red candle. That means that I want to just hit it up and then going to get it at the resistance or the big resistance. All right. I just need to have that flip of the ribbon. Oh, and we have dump on the 4 hours already. So it's changing. All right. That's fine. That's fine. Important. Let's see. Let's see. Let's see. Where was I? Done on the 30 minutes. All right. Done on the 4 hour. All right. It matches. Not looking that great, isn't it? Now. Take a look at that. All right, right out, loud order block at the bottom. Yeah, all right. So, guys, you see the danger here? All right, you see the danger, right? Quantum reactor, right? Coming in. That's not a danger. That's actually the safer zone. All right. But the danger is that we fake out and then we plumb that down. This is actually the short that I would like to take. This one or this one. All right. So better go for the short if you want to just go for something. In the meantime, let's try to get for that long. So I'm going to be aiming at 0.016, a little bit lower. Right there, 0.1667. 676767. Let's get it, 6767. All right, so let's go for it. So let's go on. What is it? 0.1660. Let me imitate that right here. Guys, just so you know, this is Binance, all right? And I'm trading on bluffing. So I'm just looking, I'm translating what I'm saying. Translating quote unquote, right? So where is the area that represents the entry in one broker and another, regardless its area of its price, its exact price, right? I want to, for example, look at this right there, this kind of candles in there, and then draw a line on the 30 minutes in here. The 15 right here. So it's gonna be right here. So 60 66.4. So copy price available. Yep. Let's go for that entry amount. Is gonna be a quarter of a position. And I'm doing 30x. Let me adjust that for a quarter of a position. All right. And then let's click long. Yes, confirm. All right, perfect. What if it is runs out of our hands? Well, let it go. We are doing better than gambling, all right? So there it is. We had the entry point, and of course I'm gonna go for a possible short in here. So add alert to the trend line, and of course I want that trend line to be locked. Perfect. All right, so we got this one. Let's go take a look at another one in here. So let's go for what was Sun. All right. Ooh, I see Pepe. All right, so Pepe, let's take a look at Pepe. How's Pepe doing? Beaver, dude is breaking. Come on. But it is what it is, right? We need to stay true to our strategy. If not, what are we if we don't trade a strategy? All right, so this thing is driving me crazy. Let me see. I got nothing here. Okay, and oh, I see what's going on. Okay, perfect. I think I got it. All right. Let's take a look at what was it, Pepe? Same thing in here. Turning bullish above that dynamic zero line. Above the dynamic reactor, we have a loud order block. So, yeah, highly bearish, big resistance. But we're above that zero line. We need to synchronize with those two. So, we're not going to be trading Pepe so far because of this rejection box. So, I'm actually going to be aiming for the center. If I get this, perfect. If not, I'm aiming for the short, all right? But so far, I still need to add that alert. So let's actually go for another one right down there. What else we got in here? Oh, look at that. I do it. Sun hype. Tron, Pepe, Shiba. Let's take a look at Shiba. Shiba. All right. We are making a triangle. I like this way better. There it is. That's what I was about to also draw. So let's add some helpful extra information in here. We have a symmetrical triangle, unknown breakout. We have a loud order blocking here. So let's go for that. Let's add an alert. I'm going to set it as an alert in here. So let's go for a possible swing entry right here. And we are going to be aiming at the previous one here. Stop loss needs to be right here just in case we start failing it. All right. But yeah, perfect. Let's take a look at view trolls. And we have the same thing. So why not? We do one, we do the other. Loud order block. I actually want to short this thing, but it's ripping up money flow. It actually gives me the feeling that we're gonna pierce through, but nonetheless, I don't buy tops, right? So I need to let it go. I mean, I really want to, but no, I mean, not until this happens. So we'll see. All right, so for that reason, I'm gonna add an alert. Dude, I really thought that we would have been passed through this by today. But let's take a look at FETH. Absolutely. Let's take a look at FETH. Let's go for Ethereum. FETH on the same way. As you can remember, this is where we left out. So the trade is still ongoing. This is a flat positive bearish continuation. Yes, it's currently back up. Could we be going higher? Absolutely. But don't worry, this is not like a Valhalla trade, right? What if we go high from here, all right? So we're going to be defining another range, a newer range here, from here to there. So in that case, we short the top, we buy the bottom. We short the top, we buy the bottom. But at this moment, there's no way that we're buying because look at that. We are right against the course here. Yes, we're breaking with strength. But, well, we are right against the resistance. If we had some, like, empty space there, that would have been fantastic, right? I mean, just like breaking through, coming back down, then we have a lot of empty space till the next resistance. That empty space, what we want, but we don't have it right now. In fact, I would rather go for a shorty here, which I'm not going to because this thing is curling back up. Other than if it flips back below, then I'll short it. In fact, let's go for an alert at the bottom, right? And then an alert at the top. I'm going to revisit this thing. So breakout retest, breakout retest. Let's get it. All right, guys. So that's going to be it for today. Tomorrow, let's see how that plays out. Remember to click that like button. It really helps with the algorithm. I'm gonna try to do more meme coin stuff, right? I think that's gonna be fun. Maybe we can drop down the frequency of the trades at 5-minute time frame. We'll see if that plays out way better. And in here, because this thing, it's killing me. All right, perfect. So just rewards from crypto credit cards. So take advantage also of a couple of things that you can always get on your hands on. Remember, DCA is the way. And as always, guys, thank you so much for joining. And as always, see you guys tomorrow. And remember to click that like button. Really helps with the algorithm. See you guys.
You heard it here first. Coin is going to zero.
Zero.